They have released the dog. I'm Lil Rick the gamer, do it 100% gamer, bro. If no one else working hard, I would do it for the gamer. Yo, can't contain my flow. I need to play a game for sure. Maybe RTS, RPG, or maybe even MMO.
Howdy, and welcome back to another video for Crystalborne Heroes of Fate. Now I need you to hit that like and subscribe buttons because I post content daily. Link to our description where you can hang out and we can chat more about the game is in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment below. So I'll see y'all there. Let's get this community growing and everything. Alright. So today we're going to talk about who are you building, why are you building them and all of that good stuff, because there's a lot of cool heroes in this game. There's some waifu, there's some badasses, there's all that good stuff. But if you're free to play, you're going to have a big issue because this game is not crazy free to play friendly. It is like everything you can do pay to play, you can do free to play, but the resources you get for playing for free is minute. You're gonna barely get any growth through your daily progression, so you gotta be a little efficient in how you do things, and that's also in the characters you're building in this game. So let's go over a little bit of why the free to play is a little rough. We're gonna start here in the general store. So every 2 days, you're able to reset your refreshes, but your refreshes scale. And I'm talking about for like your energy, because you got 3 different forms of energy: your campaign, your conquest, and your bounty. You're going to be utilizing those every day. But you can see here where it says my conquest that I have 90 gems to refresh my 120 energy, 120 at a time, and it's 90. Alright, I'm going to do it because I just did some conquests. I'm going to do it, confirm, boom. Now you see it goes up to 180. And it's going to continue to go up, and go up until it reaches numbers that's insane. Your gems are really important. This is your pay currency. So with that, they don't really give you many in the game. It's like the resources that they give you for your progression, it's so small to the point where it's a little frustrating. I like the game, I enjoy it, and I know many of you enjoy it, so I want you to be able to not be completely wasteful with these resources. So since this refreshes every 2 days, you won't get these low cost often, so you're going to be spending a lot of time like not even playing because you're going to need energy to refresh. Fortunately, conquest refreshes it gives you some of your bounty energy back, and you're going to be needing that because you're going to be spending a lot of time utilizing your bounty energy, because that's where you're going to get most of your progression through your infusion and your gear through bounty farming, and then the other stuff through your conquest, mostly your level ups and everything. But you can see my conquest is already costing me 900 just to be able to do it, and then it's a limited amount that you can buy per day. So for the people that are spending, they're going to be capped, and it's really this is to keep the whales from welling too hard, which is a good thing for free-to-play players. But since they don't give us much free-to-play, it kind of just like a slap in the face. Yeah, we're gonna keep them down, but we're keeping you guys down even more. But anyway, so I just want you guys to keep that in mind while you're progressing, that if you're not spending money in this game, you're gonna have a really long ride. So, going back, I know you're going to be happy and ecstatic every time you pull a legendary because they're really good, they're really strong, they're beautiful. But you're not going to be able to build every legendary that you have. Yeah, you can level them up, you can star them up, but you won't be able to skill them up. And that's going to be critical. And we can go into our skill books. Let's just get out of here first. We can go into our skill books. We'll go up here, click on that. Go into our nice little storage here, and we look at our skill books, and we look at the number of skill books we have. Alright, I've made purchases, so I do have a little more of things that you won't have free to play. And I've been able to test out a few things, and this is what made me really figure it out. Because once I start drying up and running out of resources, because how expensive it is to upgrade and how very little of resources that you're able to obtain, that's what made me realize, like, wait a sec, this game is not as free to play as I thought it was. It's like you can still play free to play, but you have to take into consideration that you're not going to be able to just boom past progression free to play like some games where they just give you resources, and even when it slows down you still get a lot at given intervals, where this game so far showing that you don't. So I have 12 legendary books, and this is from pretty much farming up. I think I've got a couple of these books through the purchases I made. Don't quote me. I know these books here are for my specific character, E-I-R. I'm not sure if that's right, if I'm pronouncing. Don't care either. But these books are specifically for her. I utilize a few of them to level up one of her second skill, and then I would need 3 books to do it, so it'd be 2 of these and 1 of those. But I'm not sure if I want to put my legendaries into her per se. I have other legendary characters like Arano that I want to put books into, so I'm kind of just stacking before I make an informed decision on who I'm going to really put my legendary books in. This is why I said in previous videos not to waste your books, because they don't come dime a dozen. At least some of them don't come dime a dozen, and we're going to talk about that too. Alright, as you complete stages and 3-star them, you will be getting access to more of your purple heroic books, and these you still want to be kind of frugal with as well. But there's going to be plenty of heroic characters that you're going to be able to utilize and put your books into. You just want to be absolutely sure who you're going to put these books into, and I don't think it'll be the worst thing to spread them out, because as you get into your 3rd and your 4th skill up into one skill, it gets really expensive. So you'll be able to get skill ups across a few characters before you can really get a lot into one character, unless you're going to be patient, which is not a bad thing. Patience is a virtue, and trust me, if you are patient, you're going to get more value later than if you did spread out. So you can consolidate a bit. Just keep that in mind. You know, if you're impatient, then you can spread, but if you are patient and you want to be the most efficient to get that skill max, then you will work until you can get the currency and everything you need to do so. Now, where they reward you the most are your blue and your green books. Now, I only have 13 green books is because I have gotten a skill, one of my green unit skills, which is one of the best early game units in my opinion for you to build, and I'm going to tell you why shortly. But I did that because they just give you these books. They give you so many of them. I can't recall exactly where the blue books, and I was taking down notes, and I should have took down more notes before hitting the record button. But I know when you go into, let's say, your summon section, every so often you will get a free summon in your hero section, and then there'll be like a present box that will show up in here somewhere, and in that present box and it happens every hour. On the hour you will get a green book. So every hour, if you're collecting every hour, you will have a green book in here all the time. The blue books you get from another way, but you also get plenty of those books. So it's like they're telling you, like, build these characters. They might not be heroics, there might not be legendaries, but they're decent that you should be building these characters, because you're going to be able to get more skill ups into them than you're going to be able to get into any of the other characters, unless you're spending money. So we're going to go on here, and we're going to go specifically to one of the blue characters that I'm using. Oh, so yeah, it was blue, it wasn't green. I thought I used some of the green books. Alright, it was some of the blue books I had. So yeah, we're gonna go in here to the Vanir drone. This thing here is pretty good, and let me explain why. You can see I have this 3rd skill, almost max skill. It just got really expensive. I think it's like 1,000,000 silver to upgrade it to the max skill up here. Yeah, 1,000,000 silver plus Oh yeah, no. So this does take the green books. Yeah. I was using the green plus 4 green books. Like the last skill up, it took me 3 green books. So as you skill them up, you're gonna need more and more books. First skill up, 1, then 2, 3, 4, so forth and so on. So that's kind of how that works. But the reason why this unit is so good is this third skill here. It's an energy attack that hits everybody. So it's AoE. The damage it does doesn't matter, but you have a 55% chance at the level that I have it skilled up to inflict energy defense down for 1 turn and afflict speed down for 1 turn. Now the reason why you want energy defense down for 1 turn is because you're gonna have energy based attackers to dish out damage. Not to say you can't have a physical attacker in your team, just to say that some of the characters that I'm going to be sharing you should possibly build because you have an AoE defense break for your energy attackers. And then the second skill here has energy attack down, which is not bad, but you have an AoE defense break, which is going to be critically important, plus the speed slow, which is going to be helpful for your team getting more turns as well. That's what makes this unit so good, and it only costs you 4 mana. You can't beat that. Like a lot of the skills you're going to be using is going to cost you 7 to 9 mana. Like some of the big skills, especially AoE, is going to cost you a lot of mana. And the fact that this skill only costs you 4, and it's an AoE on a unit that's probably overlooked because it's not flashy, it's not waifu, it's not one of your epics and one of your legendaries, and there's plenty of other units like this, like green and blue, that you should not be overlooking. This is just the one that I decided to go full on investment into for my team, and it has changed my progression and what I'm capable of doing, because now for my characters like Odette here, who's an energy based AoE damage dealer that also applies burn, which is 20% of your HP of the enemy's max HP as damage to itself. I believe that's how it works. 20%. It says here. All right, burn. Let's click on burn. All right, let's click on the burn. It said deals 20% damage every turn for the effective duration. So I'm not sure what 20% damage actually is, because it doesn't say max HP or what it scales off of. But 20% damage, so you know it's an extra damage in effect. And your poison, your static, all that stuff does the same thing. So, and she scales well with flare if you have flare in your team. Oh, I wish I had a flare. But she's a good one that to build early on, because they do give you her early on. I believe she's not a bad build, to go into. But you have a lot of these other blue characters. Some of them I looked at skills, but I really didn't pay attention. A solid healer that you can use. I haven't got a chance to really test it, but pretty much all the healer skills are just about the same. I guess some of them probably just scale a little better, but this little guy here, the Grove Warden, this guy here has pretty good skills. Like he has a heal on top of a regen for 2 turns on his third skill, which can be beneficial to your team. Easy to build and also easy to skill up. If we go in here, boom, and we go to the skill, because we got plenty of the books, plenty of these blue books that we could be using to skill them up if we were to use them. We just need silver, so keep in mind silver doesn't come a dime a dozen, so you got to be absolutely sure where you're going to be spending your silver resources, because there's a lot of things you're going to be needing silver to do, as far as leveling up, skilling up, ranking up, infusion, leveling up your gear. All that stuff is going to take a massive amount of silver, so keep that in mind. That's just one of the other units. So who takes the blue? Am I tripping? But who takes the green books? Because you get plenty of them, unless it's these things down here. Alright, I'll figure that out on a later date. Alright, so we want to move on. Alright, so now 2 characters that are actually really important, and they are heroic for you to be building. Unfortunately, one of them is a physical damage dealer, so they won't pair exactly well with your magical defensive break. or I say energy defense break. I'm thinking other games, but and we're going to go to our events tab to check that out. And this is the first character that they give you, your front runner throughout the story, and that's Zora. There is an event in the events tab where you have to complete tasks, and her name is all over it. Reach 5-star with Zora, reach 4-star with Zora, do this for Zora, do that for Zora, and they give you so many goodies just for you utilizing her and building her. So if you just starting the game, or if you just like took her out your team and overlooking her, you should go back, because there's so many extra goodies. All this, look at these keys, like legendary keys that you get, and that says reach infusion level 4 with Zora. Like, you have to reach these levels and all this stuff. You have to do this stuff with her to get these rewards. You see, I'm at the very end of it because I had stopped building her, but I'm going to go back myself and do it. It's just really expensive right now. She doesn't quite fit the team comp that I built, so that's the only reason why I haven't did. So you guys don't make that mistake in not building her. Build her, because she gives you so many rewards for building her and leveling her up. Another one is this guy here, the Daughter and Shard, or whatever he's called. You get pieces for him, which allow you to be able to build him more, skill him up, or whatever you're going to use these extra ones for, and they just give him to you. And if you're fortunate enough to pull him, he's good. As well as Maelstrom is another one, which they have a whole event for him. Like they have these, as well as a summoning event where he's like the forerunner for that. If it's, here we go, in the event. So you have a higher chance of pulling him if you utilize your summons in his banner, which makes him a little bit easier to obtain and level up. I have a few of him myself already, as well as Zora and the other guy I was just talking about. Here we go, this dude right here. Like, these are characters that you should be investing into. Not only that you get them for these events and things, let's go into the campaign where you can farm shards for some of these characters. We're going to go back to our normal campaign, and you'll see here, this is what, stage 3. You have Zora pieces that you can farm and a few stages. Cyclone is another good one. He's an AoE damage dealer. I believe he's physical, but you can farm him if you were to use him. You have this character that you can farm, like a few different characters that you can farm on many stages. Odette, who I use, you can farm pieces of her in the first stage. I could have sworn I saw the Durden guy. Yep, okay, in stage 4 you can farm his pieces here. So different stages, and I believe this is a healer that you can farm, which is pretty decent if you're not using easier for you to play. Yuri is a solid tank that you can farm up, that a lot of people are using. I utilize Dirge here. I pulled a bunch of him, but you can farm pieces for him. So these are some of the characters that you can farm for some nicks. Pieces don't come a dime a dozen. It takes 100 to make the character, but it'll be well worth it in the long run if you build in these characters early, because you're not going to have the resources to just go all out on a legendary and in every epic that you pick. But some of the ones that they give to you early on, and some of the characters, like you can see I have multiples of certain characters and everything, and a lot of this is from the stuff that they just give. So I'm not going to take any more of your time. I hope this has been helpful for you guys that's looking to be playing this free to play, can't afford to, or just stubborn and don't want to spend your money for whatever reasons. I'm not saying just go crazy and go ham. Like, you can, if you have it, you can spend $25. Trust me, it's going to give you crazy progression, and you'll be able to do a lot more and get your characters a little bit further faster. Alright, so if you did enjoy, make sure you smash that like button. Link to my Discord will be in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment below. Subscribe if you're new here. Turn those post notifications on so you can be the first to view my content, because you're gonna want to do that, because we got plenty more stuff we want to go over and talk about as we progress. And this is your host, Gamer Dude 2088, and I'll see you next time. And I'm out. Deuces.